Hi, I am Rafael Mariano with Mariano Associates. I am a workers' compensation lawyer helping injured workers to understand their rights in the state of Nevada. Oi, meu nome é Rafael Mariano, eu sou advogado que atua na área de acidentes de trabalho e eu ajudo trabalhadores que se acidentaram durante o trabalho a entender melhor seus direitos no estado de Nevada. Olá, eu sou Rafael Mariano, com Mariano Associates. Eu sou advogado que atua exclusivamente na área de acidentes de trabalho e eu ajudo trabalhadores a entenderem melhor seus direitos em o estado de Nevada. So, workers' compensation is a system of insurance that provides benefits to employees who are injured due to their job. It's different from what a lot of people believe it is. This is not a lawsuit against your employer. This is an administrative claim with your employer workers' compensation insurance, because in Nevada, all employers are required to have a workers' compensation insurance if they have employees. In Nevada, the people who qualify for workers' compensation are most employees. Doesn't matter if full-time employee or part-time employee, as long as you got injured while you are at work, you qualify for workers' compensation. If you're injured at work in Nevada, you must report your accident and your injury to your employer immediately. The law says that you have 7 days to report the accident and the injury in writing. Your employer must give you an accident report, which is called C1. If they fail to give to you, you have to send them an email or a text message to protect your rights. And in the email text message, you can simply say, hey, I'm following up with you regarding my work accident on this day, which I report to you orally, and I'm waiting for you to give me the accident report. And then the second thing you must do is to seek medical attention. You can just go to Reno if you're in Reno, right? Or to a clinic called Concentra, because they see workers' compensation employees all the time. And you need to tell them that you got injured at work and you ask them for a form. It's very important. The name of the form is C4. If you don't have that form, your claim does not start. You don't have a claim until you have that form. That form starts your claim. You have 90 days to do it, but my advice to all my clients is seek medical treatment immediately. The third most important thing is, after you saw a doctor, follow your doctor recommendations and work restrictions. Why? Because it's mandatory in Nevada. So every time you see a doctor because of your work-related injury, you cannot leave your doctor office before they give to you a form called PPR, which is the Physician Progress Report. It's one page. That report is gonna tell you what are the recommendations and what are your work restrictions. You need to give that paper to your employer and ask your employer, hey, do you have a position that can accommodate my work restrictions? If they say yes, you go back to work and you follow your restrictions. If they say no, you need to inform the insurance company, so then the insurance company is gonna start your wage replacement benefits, which is the TTD, which is total temporary disability benefits, which is basically a wage replacement benefit where they're gonna pay you 66% and 2/3 of your wages before the injury. And regarding work restrictions again, the problem is that if you don't give that paper to your employer and you don't show up to work, your employer is going to assume that you abandoned the job. and then you're not gonna have a job, and the insurance will not provide you your TTD benefits, because basically they're gonna believe you quit, you are abandoning your job. So that paperwork is super important if you wanna maintain your job and maintain your wage replacement benefits in case you cannot go back to work. The benefits you can receive through workers' compensation are free medical care. So if your claim is accepted, right, and as long as the clinic or the doctor is approved by the workers' compensation insurance company, your medical treatment is free, paid by the workers' compensation. That means all exams, all tests, x-rays, MRIs, prescription drugs, provided that they are prescribed by your workers' compensation doctor and approved by the insurance company. The other benefit is if you cannot go back to work because of your work restrictions, because your doctor told you, hey, you're off work, you cannot go back to work, or you can go back but you have work restrictions and your employer tell you, look, we don't have a position that can accommodate your restrictions. And then the benefit is the insurance company is going to pay you temporary total disability benefits. So every 2 weeks, the insurance company is gonna send you a check, which is your wage replacement benefit, which is not 100% of your salary, but it is an average monthly wage calculation, which basically 66% and 2/3 of your wages every 2 weeks. The other benefit is when you reach the end of your case and your doctor writes down that you are at MMI, which is maximal medical improvement. When your doctor tells you maybe you're not 100%, but this is all I can do for you. And you may have some kind of restrictions, you may have an impairment. Impairment just means that, look, if you injure your shoulder, now your range of motion is not the same as your good shoulder, right? At that moment, the insurance has to send you to go through examination called Permanent Partial Disability Examination, PPD, with a doctor who is going to be selected by the state as like a lottery. Or if your lawyer or you and the insurance company can agree with one of the approved doctors, you're gonna go through that exam, and it's a very important exam because that exam is gonna tell the insurance company and you what's the percentage of your disability. And it is based on a book called the AMA Guides. What that means? That means that you, before the injury, your whole body is 100%. When, for example, you hurt your shoulder, you had surgery, and you recover, but maybe you're not 100%. You still have some restrictions, a restricted range of motion, and then that doctor is gonna perform an exam one day, and is gonna tell you, look, because of your work injury, now you have 10% whole person impairment. So basically you lost 10% out of your 100%. So then based on the percentage, there is a calculation provided by the state that takes in consideration the percentage that the doctor provide, your age, and the average monthly wage. And then that is gonna give you your financial compensation in the end. So then the other very important benefit provided by the workers' compensation is the vocational rehabilitation services. And that means that if you reach the end of your case, but you still have work restrictions, then you're gonna undergo an exam called the Functional Capacity Evaluation, FCE. That evaluation is gonna provide us what are your permanent work restrictions. So then after the FCE exam, when you have permanent work restrictions, if your employer cannot offer you a permanent position accommodating your permanent work restrictions, and then you qualify for the vocational rehabilitation services. And then the workers' compensation insurance is gonna provide you with a vocational rehabilitation counselor who is gonna help you to find a school where you are going to be retrained for a new profession. So maybe you cannot work in construction anymore and now you wanna work in computers. The insurance company is gonna pay you for your education. And you may gonna qualify for 9 months, 1 year, or 2 years of program where you're gonna learn a new skill. That's the vocational rehabilitation program. While you go through the program, the workers' compensation insurance continue to pay you your temporary total disability benefits. And then in the end of the program, they are going to help you to find a new job with the new degree or new skills that you just acquired. The common mistakes while you are going through the workers' compensation process in Nevada are not reporting your claim immediately. Yes, you have 7 days to report, but my advice is to report your claim immediately to avoid any excuses that the insurance company can use to deny your claim. The second big mistake is not seek medical treatment immediately. Yes, you don't have to seek medical treatment immediately, but will really help you and your case if you do. If you're injured, you should go to the doctor immediately. You should ask for the C4 form, and then you must follow medical advice and go through all the treatment, take all the medication, and if they recommend physical therapy, attend all the physical therapy that is scheduled for you. And now, another very important common mistake is missing important deadlines. And a lot of people don't know that, but if you're handling your case by yourself, every letter you received from a workers' compensation insurance company, it is a determination letter where they are telling you what they are denying or what they are approving. If you don't agree with that, or if something is wrong, for example, the workers' compensation insurance company accepts your claim. You're injured your right shoulder and left knee. When you receive the insurance company letter accepting your claim, they only list your right shoulder. They didn't list your left knee. So every letter you receive, by law, you have 70 days to appeal if you don't agree with that. And if you don't appeal within 70 days, you may forever give up of that right. So it's very important. It's a common mistake where people receive letters from the workers' compensation insurance company, just ignore them. That's a big mistake. And now another mistake is returning to work too soon, violating medical advice. And I understand that, almost all my clients, they want to go back to work. They are anxious to go back to work, to be productive, to make sure they are, receiving their wages. But you have to follow your medical advice, because if you don't, the insurance can again deny your claim, because if you have work restrictions and you don't follow that, now you are doing something which will cause your injury to worsen. And then they will use that to close your claim and blame you. So always follow your work restrictions and your medical advice. So if you're injured at work in Nevada, you should seek legal advice if your claim is denied. If you believe your claim or your medical treatments are being delayed or mishandled. If you believe your benefits are not being paid or they are being delayed. Or if you have any questions regarding the legal process. At Mariano Associates, you can always call us and schedule a free consultation where I'm going to meet with you personally for free. You don't have to hire me after that, and I will go through your case with you, explain to you your rights, explain to you Nevada law, and what are the next steps you need to take. And for example, one of the benefits that here at Mariano Associates we provide to all our clients is that I attend personally with all my clients all their permanent partial disability examinations and all their independent medical evaluation examinations to make sure the examinations are done properly and fairly. And what are they? They are very important. The permanent partial disability evaluations are those evaluations that are done when you reach the end of your case, where the doctor is going to examine you and tell you what is the percentage of your impairment compared to your 100% healthy body. They're gonna tell us what are the percentage of your body that is limited. That's important because that number is gonna tell you later on, after they apply this mathematical formula, the financial award you're gonna receive. And the independent medical evaluation, they are also super important. Why? Because if, for example, like the example I gave earlier, if you're injured your shoulder and your knee, and the workers' compensation insurance company is only accepting your shoulder and it is denying your knee, by law now, I can force the insurance compensation to schedule an independent medical evaluation with a doctor that I select, who will go through all your records, who will examine you and issue an opinion stating if your knee is related to the industrial accident and if the knee should also be accepted. So I believe that's a huge benefit. I go personally for all my clients to those examinations. The other huge benefit I believe we provide here at Mariano Associates is that because I speak Portuguese and Spanish, for example, when the insurance company decide to take your deposition, and then I go, of course, with all my clients and I attend the deposition, and they have a translator. So if you speak Spanish, they're gonna have a Spanish speaker translator. If you speak Portuguese, they're gonna have a Portuguese speaking translator. And I will be there and I can tell you, and I can tell the defense counsel if the translator is really doing their job and translating everything that my clients are stating under oath, which is really important for your case, or not. So, for example, that happened twice where I attended a deposition with my clients who were speaking Spanish, and I noticed that, the court-appointed Spanish translator was not really translating word by word. The translator was doing a summary, which is a huge risk. First, it's not proper, it's not legal, because that's gonna be transcribed in a little booklet, and that's gonna be used as your testimony under oath in court. Super important. So I had to stop 2 different depositions and tell the defense counsel what's going on, and we fired the translator right there, and then we had to reschedule the deposition with a new translator. So I think that's a huge benefit that we provide here at Mariano Associates. It's not gonna be my assistant, it's not gonna be my paralegal, it's gonna be me. I am the guy that's gonna go there and speak Portuguese and Spanish to help you. If you're injured at work, contact me within 7 days and I will walk you through your rights in Nevada. Se você sofreu acidente de trabalho, contate nosso escritório dentro de 7 dias e eu vou te explicar exatamente todos os seus direitos aqui no estado de Nevada. Se usted se lastimou em su trabajo, llame a nuestra oficina dentro de 7 dias y yo te explico exatamente cuáles son sus derechos en el estado de Nevada.